I am personally, professionally, incredibly frustrated. I want to recognize that Dr. Jones is doing the best he can, Mr. Fulmer, Mr. Baldwin, but in my view, that best is not good enough right now. And part of my concern has to do with communication. And we are not communicating on an adequate basis with our constituents, our students and their families. So I know help is on the way, and I'm confident that Dr. Jones and his staff will come through this, but it's got to be faster. If resources are a problem, tell us. I mean, we've increased the pay for bus drivers. You know, we can provide resources, but we have got to communicate with our families, and we cannot leave children standing at the bus stops for hours at sometimes. And in some cases, their parents are in a position, or a neighbor, where they can drive them to school, but in other ones, they're not. And that's what concerns me. So I know Dr. Jones is going to have more data for us, and he's got, you know, plans on the horizon, and I very much appreciate that, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. But I do not want to get another email, although I will invite emails. If someone is calling transportation, not getting an answer, or getting a voicemail continually, we need to know. Because, I mean, I got one as of yesterday, and I know I talked to Mr. Fulmer after the last meeting. I talked to Dr. Jones, and I know we've got more people out there to staff, but the phones aren't getting answered, or they're going to voicemail. So we have to do better. We just have to. And I feel that, you know, this is not just on you. This is on the school board. I mean, I am failing to provide transportation, and that's my responsibility. That's not a luxury. That is something that I am required to do. We're failing these kids that are getting to school aid. And I asked Dr. Jones, I said, what is it? You know, you're the lucky one that gets the bus on time, or the unlucky one that doesn't? Because it sounds like the same students are continually on that second run, third run, and getting to school late. So I'm hoping that when we are here next, we'll have some joyful news. On a positive note, I want to thank the parents who are writing in. They're not complaining about our bus drivers. They are celebrating our bus drivers. They're telling us how wonderful the bus drivers are, how much they appreciate them. It's the support system that isn't working. So I am not complaining about bus drivers. In fact, I applaud the bus drivers. I don't know how they're doing what they're doing. And I look forward to the new bus drivers that we have coming on very, very shortly. Thanks to Dr. Jones, I think we have one that started this week and more that are starting next week. So that's a good thing. But we have got to communicate. We've got to look at who's not getting served here. I mean, there should be some notice and see who can provide transportation, who can't, and let's focus on the ones that can't. You know, get it done. This is 6 weeks into school. So that's my thing, and I, like I said, I was incredibly frustrated, and after talking to Dr. Jones, I felt a lot more positive about it. I know, you know, there's things on the horizon, but I want them like tomorrow. I want to have somebody say, well, at least they answered the phone, and they told me, you know, what was going on. Now, even better than answering the phone is to get that word out so they don't even have to call. But that's a challenge that I would present. You know, let's communicate. And once we communicate, then we can better work to resolve, you know, these issues.